field engineer out there and you walk out there and you see that, your first thought is, I need to go tell my superintendent and let's figure out how to handle this situation, right? Like,
First thought should be, is somebody going to get hurt in this situation right now? That should be our first thought. Whether we're a field engineer, an hourly guy, is that guy, if something happens, could that guy get seriously injured right now? And if that can, then we need to be finding someone immediately. Then we start that process of what you're saying. Hey, let's go get the superintendent. Let's get the PM if we need to get him involved. Let's get the owner if we need to get them involved. Ideally, you hope it doesn't get to that point, and it's just a small thing that we can correct.
You told me your favorite slogan for safety.
What's that?
You only get to the level of safety that you're not willing to overlook, right?
Yeah, man. You say it a lot. It's
so
a great
sometimes
one.
it's easier to walk by something than to have to address it, right? In that point, you're overlooking a safety item, and now it's
so. Look at our zero tolerance, the incorrect use of a ladder, right? Someone stands on the top rail, we're sending them home for the day. What if you're behind schedule? Someone could be willing to say, "Hey, come down 2 steps," but you can't do that. Like, you can't overlook that. We gotta set the precedent so that guy knows on the next job, American, he's just gonna tell me to step down, because a lot of GCs will step down.
You're hurting the next guy. You're just passing it down.
That's correct.
That's a very good example, because the only fatality I've ever experienced on a job was on a ladder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he climbed up the ladder and he's standing on the top, and he kicked the ladder out from under and he fell onto the slab.
No.
So that's the person. Well, that's what makes it personal for me. So when I talk to somebody on the job site about, hey, you need to come down off the ladder, or get a taller ladder, or you need to go home, or whatever the conversation is, I make it more personal at that point. And I say,
because you can say, hey, I know.
Yeah. The only fatality, incorrect use of a ladder. This is seemingly minor. You're on an 8 or 10 foot ladder, but it could happen.
So how did it change you? Like, once that happened, were you a different person when it came to safety or perspective on any safety item related? Like, I know ladders are now probably a higher priority after that, but you see a fatality, that changes you as an individual, right?
Yeah. It does. It just at that point, and I've said it before. When you're talking to somebody, it's getting them to take ownership. That's and educating them enough to know, say, hey, if you're not comfortable with doing something, say something. If your employer's not going to listen, talk to us. And then we'll talk to the employer, and we can keep you out of it, and make it a personal observation. We can do whatever, but we got to give the guy on the ground the power. We got to give him the power to make the decisions as to whether, hey, this is safe or this is not, and getting the tools he needs. And we're just a resource to that end game.